I have always been fascinated by the Star Wars saga, but to truly appreciate this franchise, and indeed George Lucas, we must consider perhaps his most controversial film. Star Wars Episode 1 is widely regarded as the most disappointing Star Wars film. It has forever divided fans and critics alike. This video essay will draw parallels between Star Wars The Phantom Menace and Star Wars A New Hope. By casting a more analytical eye, I argue Episode 1 is grossly underappreciated, and is in fact a cinematic triumph. After 2 decades of anticipation, we are welcomed into Episode 1 with the nostalgic sight of a massive frigate dwarfing a smaller shuttle in the far reaches of space. This framing and cinematography are akin to the opening shot of the first 1977 Star Wars film, A New Hope. Here, a slow tilt introduces the crucial planet of Tatooine, before a locked-off extreme long shot emphasises the power of the Star Destroyer over the tiny Tantive 4. In both films, the antagonist ships are immediately introduced as superior, as they fill up so much of the frame space. As spectators, we feel drawn towards the more vulnerable, smaller ships, so we'll become more invested in the protagonist's righteous storyline later. What a beautiful callback, all in the very first shot. Events unravel to reveal the Trade Federation invading the peaceful planet of Naboo. Again, this opening narrative is similar to A New Hope, where the Galactic Empire destroy the tranquil planet of Alderaan. In both films, the antagonists use an army of faceless, uniformed soldiers to further their power and economic gain, perhaps suggesting that soldiers today are little more than political puppets, mindlessly executing their master's orders. The classic good beats evil dynamic eventually prevails in both films, but only with great sacrifice. In A New Hope, the teacher of Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is killed at the hands of Darth Vader. In Episode 1, the master of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, is killed by Darth Maul. In both films, losing their father figure spurs each protagonist into action. This acts as the proairetic code behind the final victory. Throughout all 12 Star Wars films, Chancellor Palpatine acts as the narrative enigma code, as his villainous intentions slowly become clear. In Episode 1, Palpatine's elderly character and genial words builds a picture of a caring old man. It's with this false sense of security that Palpatine encourages the illegal invasion of Naboo. This political maneuvering reflects the real-world actions of George W. Bush, leading to the Syria-Iraq invasion many years later. The fabrication of Syrian WMDs necessitated the US invasion, much like Palpatine's lies in Episode 1. Similarly, A New Hope is rarely a commentary on the Vietnam War of that time. The advanced, weaponized empire is the United States, while the Rebel Alliance is the under-equipped Viet Cong. This creates ambiguity around whether the United States, or indeed the Empire, were actually the protagonists. Episode 1 and A New Hope are in essence cleverly disguised commentaries on our contemporary world, including everything from slavery, warfare, religion, politics, and technology. In summary, Episode 1 perfectly parallels the thematic composition and narrative of A New Hope, while adding something new and exciting. It can be argued Star Wars Episode 7 fails in this exact area. Episode 7 simply reproduced the work of A New Hope, with similar settings, characters, and narrative. George Lucas created Episode 1 with such mastery that while honouring the past, he adds a fresh and enticing chapter to the Star Wars saga. As George Lucas himself so modestly states, it's like poetry, it rhymes. Episode 1 should not be examined independently, rather as an extension of the entire saga to date. Thank you so much for listening.